So, over the last few days, I've felt a lot of stuff kind of wearing down on me, taking a toll and affecting the energy that I feel. One of the most unfortunate things that I've come to understand about myself is that I'm very big at reflecting out the same energy that I'm absorbing. I used to think of myself as a filter to where I can take in negativity, transform it, and make it into something positive. Something that I wasn't always really just great at, but I was learning how to maintain positivity, how to reflect positivity. What's happened as of late is that I've allowed myself to be subjected to the wills and the whims of other people. Not so much the opinions. The opinions are really kind of irrelevant to me. I value opinion for the sake of gauging how far I've come from who I was. So, of course, feedback is always really good for that. But at the same time, I have to be careful over whose opinion that I prioritize anyways. There's that saying that says that do what it is that makes you happy, because the people that matter won't care, and the people that care don't matter. That's a little bit extreme because, some people care and they do matter a lot, and some people tend to put themselves on the line trying to be helpful, and they don't really know exactly what it is that you stand in need of. Which brings me back to another situation that's going on in society, is that we're not very good at articulating what our needs are. Even if we can articulate it, sometimes we're not even aware of what they are. We fall into a rut of doing what we think is common. We fall into a rut of doing what we have been told is the pathway to success, is the American dream, so to speak. I kind of feel like we're living in an age where a lot of things that we have or used to have been taken for granted, and we live in a state of constant coveting. We're always coveting for the next thing. It doesn't even have to be towards something that someone else has. We almost have a conditioned covet within our well-being and in our natural state of being, to where we're constantly looking for the next thing to appease a desire that we may not even know we have. Like, if that makes any sense. The way that the economy is set up, the way that people generate an income, it's kind of migrated away from selling things or offering things of necessity, and it's become a marketplace for wants and desire. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that wants and desires in an advanced civilization are not genuine, or that they have no place here, because wants and desires is relative to happiness. So many people feel like their happiness is equated to how many of their desires they acquire. The problem with desire is that it fluctuates based on passion. What you're passionate about, or even what you subject yourself to, tends to dominate what it is that you're going to continue to pursue. And in today's society, even though we have push-button access to just about everything, we have a tendency to still align our perception of what happiness is, our perception of what success is, our perception of what attainment of those goals are, right along with what everybody else is. The mass exodus towards some new culture or civilization that no one really has an idea where it is going to. Now, I tend to believe that time is non-linear, and just like that, civilization's advancements, and it operates and it moves in waves and troughs, and peaks and troughs, and as such, a declining civilization inevitably gives way to a change, or a cry for change, and then that cry for change brings about a new civilization or a new era, and it can sink worse, or sometimes it can bounce back and propel forward so far that nobody else foresaw coming. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the idea of popular thought and popular belief is contrary to progression. If anything, it's responsible for the core of progression. I feel, though, like people are detached from what that is. They either don't know how to pursue it, they don't have a desire to pursue it, or they're too busy pursuing the comforts and desires that are sold to us, that we're told to want or told to pursue. It's been a long time since I've actually even been able to obtain any of my wants. Many of my wants aren't materialistic. It's a desire to speak more, to listen more, to write more, to spend more quality time with people, basically to transform my own personal existence and my space around me. And I feel like I'm so caught up in the hamster wheel of production and trying to stay afloat in an ever-changing society that I feel like I've had to shell off and push away who I really am and my ability to pursue those goals. And unfortunately what happens is that's what leads directly to stagnation, is that when you no longer have a drive or a passion or something that you know motivates you, little by little you fall into the rut of performing but not really experiencing. And performance is what society expects of you as a contributing member. But experience, that alone is what life is really about. That's what pertains to every single individual. Every individual in this world is trying to shape and make sense of their experience. And the more you curb out that ability to process experience and you only perform based on what either you're told to do or expected to do, then you will eventually stagnate. And every single person at some point in their life has to have a moment of clarity where they say, you know what, am I really doing this because this is something that I was in pursuit of for myself or for people who matter to me? Or am I doing this because I've allowed myself to be conditioned by the social expectations? And it doesn't take much for people to open their eyes and realize that social expectations, they're not going to give you happiness. Pursuit of happiness has to come from an understanding of desire and a passion about that desire. So today I challenge y'all to go out and chase some desires, pursue some passions, become more intimate with the person that you are inside rather than the person that you are outside. Because we operate in this world to the best of our ability because it's a sense-based universe. We operate with the world around us based on the senses that we perceive it with, but at the same time, there's an interpreter within, deep within the mind and the heart. And when you learn to understand what that interpreter is really seeking, that's whenever the world starts to reveal to you messages that you may have never ever even seen possible or heard of possible. And being able to decipher those and decode what it is that the universe is trying to tell you tends to open doors towards the direction that you can obtain everlasting, eternal happiness for as long as you keep following that pursuit. So, reach out and manifest happiness, manifest greatness, and manifest beauty. Thanks.